Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome to the channel. If you're new, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Sorry, I've been kind of gone for 2 days. Not feeling great lately. So, I want to talk about the meta and the OTA that just released and my thoughts on everything. Because honestly, the OTA, pull up here, it was just buffs, plus ones. It was the patch of plus ones. Ares got a +1. Silver Samurai got a +1. Starhawk got a +1. Kraglin got a +1. Zombie Captain Marvel got a +1. Spider-Man Noir got a +1. Agent Coulson got a +1, and Major Victory got a +1. To be honest, I don't think this changed anything, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I think they were just trying to, give some love to cards that were not either being used or performing under their expectations, which I don't think, if anything, I don't know if anything's actually changed with this. Maybe Ares is the most impactful out of all this because he was already seeing a little bit of play, but the rest of them, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know. I still don't think I'm using Kraglin. I think Kraglin's still kind of a swing and a miss. Maybe if he was 5 power, but like, I don't know. Kind of weird. Like, they could use the OTA to like really give a card that needs either like a really nice buff, an actual buff, but they kind of just chose to do this, which is fine. I have no urge to like hate against it. I'm not surprised Starhawk Kraglin got buffed. I'm not really surprised Nora got buffed or Major Victory got buffed. Like, I don't think this was enough for any of them personally, but I guess we'll wait and see. But going into it, we're gonna talk about the meta. So Infinite, right? Yeah, Infinite. It's a weird season, to be honest. So the Man Spider deck is popping off really hard right now. I don't know if it is the best deck. I do know that I don't like going against this deck because you really need Shadow King to shut it down, which I don't really like using Shadow King, so that's on me. But it is definitely a deck that you can climb with quickly because of how like big you can get, and there's not many things that can punish it except for like Shadow King, Cosmo. I think Stardust because he's trying to Zolo it. So Stardust, like, there's definitely tech against it. It's just kind of like icky tech. It's not like as clean as like running a Cosmic Ghost Rider. I personally prefer Ghost Rider as my tech card these days. We have Mr. Negative, which is another deck that's been seeing quite a bit of play. This one's interesting because it's the same deck that's been used for so long, and yet it's still performing quite well. Even after the nerf of Star-Lord, it's still performing, looks like, relatively good. Like, you still have Gore in it, you still have Star-Lord in it, it's still, like, the same deck it's always been, so that's interesting to see that it's doing good this season. I assume it's doing good because of everything that got nerfed last season, that it was just, like, the safest thing to go back to. Same, like, with Man Spider. Whenever, like, the best of the best gets chopped from the top, you kind of just go back to what worked before, which is, like, Man Spider, Mr. Negative, Super Giants, Destroy. What else is there? Victoria Hand, essentially. So we do have a Sauron deck using Daredevil, and honestly, the deck is performing quite well. It is. It's doing better than, well, it's not doing better than I expected. I expected it to be quite easy to use because you use Techno Organovirus to take away all your negatives. So, like, Red Skull, Starbrand, like Mary, like all of their negatives are just like gone. So you essentially just play a free high stackable card that works with Daredevil, and you gotta just get really big, and it's hard to deal with. It's a really good deck. It has a 61% win rate. I'm not saying that anything needs to be nerfed yet when it comes to the Daredevil deck. I do think it's performing really good right now. I just don't think people have found the answers to it, even though the answers are kind of like Ching-Chi, Shang-Chi for sure would be nice for this. Killmonger to knock out the Martyr. Just a lot of big shit. So you got to get bigger. Honestly, since they get so big, Fing Fang Foom might actually be good against it. Unironically, because like everything they use gets pretty big. So even if you miss like the biggest target, you can probably essentially just still get bigger than them with Fing Fang Foom, right? Essentially, it's probably the direction I would go with it. So like Shang-Chi Fing Fang Foom would probably be like where I would start to see how it performs, because this deck has no tech. Has 0 tech outside of Techno-Organic Virus. I guess he's got Enchantress, but like that's their protection from something. Supergiant still doing its thing, being annoying, not surprised. This one's a little weird though, because it's kind of like a discard Supergiant, which has been another deck that I've been seeing a lot of is discard, with Weapon H actually. Generic Destroy with the Mother Escane setup, and Archangel deck is being used. I've been seeing a lot of Destroy. I have thoughts on like Mother Escane, and I have thoughts on like Gambit Horseman of Death. I do think those are on like nerf watch right now, and it wouldn't surprise me if these cards get nerfed eventually, just because of how annoying they are and the curve that they give you. It's ridiculous how good Mother Escane is, by the way. She's quite good. So Maverick Surfer still doing decent at 50s. That's not really a high percent win rate, by the way. Like, if you look at the top decks, right? 65% win rate, Man Spider, 58% Mr. Negative, 61% Sauron, 64% Supergiant. Like, those are some high-ass win rates. So a lot of these decks, if they stay this high, I imagine they don't nerf. I mean, they might nerf Supergiant, but they're not going to nerf this card, are they? I doubt it. Man Spider getting nerfed would be crazy. He's a very good card, but he's very dealable if you just run the right thing. Mr. Negative's annoying, but they already nerfed the hell out of it. I'm not sure if they're going to go back and nerf it again. They might. Daredevil deck being at 61% win rate is kind of crazy. I don't know what they do here except for chop some power off these cards, which would be weird. Are we really going to chop power off Starbrand? Are we really going to chop power off like Red Skull? I don't know. It's weird. Its win rate's ridiculous, so I don't know if they touch anything in this deck, or if they just leave it to be because it has 0 tech except for Enchantress. Destroy is really just really good because of like the Mother Escane is really good at copying like multiple, like, oh my goodness. So like you can misery the Mother Escane to get like multiple copies of like death, or I guess essentially you would just want to go for death copies, because like even if you got it discounted like Snoll and let's go on turn 7, you'd have to play 2 of them. It's a little bit harder to do. Very interesting. Maverick Surfer is only really good right now because I think Storm's kind of like on that watch of like maybe too strong. I'm not sure if I'm there yet, but I've seen a lot of people say Storm is too strong, and I'm not sure how I feel about that. She is definitely strong, but does she need a nerf? I'm not sure if it's her that needs a nerf. It could be her. But this deck is kind of big too. But like your solution is still the same thing. Shadow King, right? Wong combo is going crazy right now with Mother Escane. Not surprising. Whenever there's a good on reveal card that does something, Wong is always there to abuse it, so that's not surprising. 58% win rate with Wong combo. A Zombie Galacti. This is a deck that I've actually seen a lot of lately. Like, a lot of lately. I'm like, what the heck's going on? And it gets really big. You get sizable with this deck. So it's kind of impressive. Kind of annoying because it's like hard to like really tell that it's this deck until like you really see like, essentially whenever you see like the Spider-Man come out in the Gwenpool, you know it's Galacti essentially, because a lot of these other cards like Adam Warlock and Nico can be used in other decks. Forge is a weird one. I don't think Forge is being used anywhere else, but there's a lot of call signs to like, oh shoot, this is Zombie Galacti, and the biggest one to take away is the Gwenpool, the Maverick. Sometimes they use other things, like Wong. I have seen versions of Wong to juice up your Gwenpool more. And I don't know. I mean, it might just be flavor right now, but I'm not sure. I have seen a lot of this though. Victoria Hand's a problem right now. 59.4% win rates. And I think this deck's only a problem because of how much duplicating you can do within it. Like, honestly, if the duplicating was minimized and, like, there was just a set amount that you could do before it would stop, I think the deck would be fine. But the issue is, you duplicate so much in this deck. It's ridiculous. You duplicate with Frigga. You duplicate with Bastion. You duplicate with Mother Iskane. It's kind of dumb. You can also duplicate with Nico, by the way. So it's like got 4 sets of duplication. It's kind of getting a little ridiculous how much we can duplicate in this game, which is like the one thing I wish they'd stop doing, is making ways to duplicate more shit. It makes the game go to this nasty format of a deck towards like, oh, guess what? I'm going to have like 4 of these Horsemen of Deaths and 2 of these normal Gambits and just destroy your whole board. Unless you're Nimrod, then we just kind of lose, right? Which, by the way, for those who are wondering, Nimrod shits on this deck because you do not care if you get destroyed on Nimrod. You don't. You just get really big. You Adamantium Infusion that bitch back up, and you get really big. Also, Horseman of Death cleans out all your like low fodder, so like Shuri's getting knocked out. You know, your Kid Omega's getting knocked out, which is good, which means more room for Nimrods. Nimrod's actually kind of crazy. Honestly, they'd be smarter to like take something out of this deck and stop greeting for like a Stardust. Unironically, a Stardust in this deck would do so much for it. Which don't tell anyone I said that, please. I don't want to have my poor boy Nimrod get nerfed because, or getting sacked because Gambits are running Stardust now and nuking my Nimrods. Phantom X is at a 56.5% win rate. I'm not sure how I feel about Phantom X right now. I'm a Phantom X enjoyer. This one is using Prodigy and Jocasta, which I do have both of them. Airwalker makes sense. I do not have Omega Sentinel, though. I do have Chameleon. I kind of see what they're going for here. So what essentially they're doing is they're trying to double down as many Phantom X's and Omega Sentinels as they can to just burst down as much as possible. Because you have a discard here. You have a destroy here. You have a destroy here. Where's your other discard? You don't even have a secondary discard. That's wild. How's this deck getting... How's this deck winning without a second discard? Oh, Gambit. Never mind. 2 discards, 2 destroys. That's about right. That's what I use. Chameleon's to copy the Gambit at the end. I imagine that to be the most efficient thing to do is just copy down a second Gambit. Jocasta, Prodigy is to copy the Phantom X. So you would play Phantom X, followed by Jocasta, followed by Prodigy, and then you probably set down Omega Sentinel on that last one just for the extra activate. Well, I guess you'd go like, you play Jocasta, you play Phantom X, you play Prodigy to copy the Jocasta, and then you'd play Omega Sentinel. I imagine is the better way of doing it. That way you get double activations, which might be pretty good for that turn, like 5. Yeah. So you might not even have time to do double Gambits. I guess that's a backup strategy, is you Chameleon the Gambit if you have the time. Could you Chameleon the Prodigy? Would that be worth it? Maybe. It actually might be, because you could play Jocasta turn 3, Phantom X turn 4, turn 5. You could do something. Depending on what it is, you could play like your Wild Child out, or maybe your Airwalker if you have to. Well, if you're playing Airwalker in turn 5, you're probably losing. But you could technically Prodigy Jocasta turn 5. Oh no, you wouldn't be able to do it without a discount. So no, yeah, I mean Chameleon. So Chameleon is literally just for the Gambit on turn 6, it looks like. For the most part, it's probably the best thing to copy. I'd imagine so. Interesting. It's very interesting. A lot of risk and a lot of randomize. This is a hard one to run, I feel like, because you have to like get the full combo. I mean, I guess you could function without the Prodigy. If you just play Jocasta, Omega Sentinel, Phantom X, that should be enough, but the Prodigy definitely does send it over the edge. You can also use Prodigy to copy the Gambit if you have to, if there's a way to line that up. That'd be a little hard to do, but it is possible. Generic Surfer. I kind of talked about this. It's a good deck. I think the reason why it's really good right now is because Storm and Mother Ascani is really good. So they've been releasing a lot of bangers lately. Pixie's got a 56.8 win rate with Pink Pink Boom in the deck, and Strife and Insabanor. That's kind of crazy that they're seeing play. That them being Pink Pink Boom, that isn't Strife. Doom is still at a 58% win rate. Not surprised here. We have a very basic Doom deck. Honestly, I think we're at the point where Sandman can get cut. I don't think Sandman's it anymore, Chief. I'm not gonna lie. I think you cut the Sandman for something else. Not sure what, but I just feel like you could cut the Sandman for something else. I wonder what you cut him for, though. Because I don't feel like Sandman's worth it anymore. High Evolutionary. 58% win rate. It's got Enchantress in it, so yeah, that makes sense. Star-Lord is not in this version. Well, that's kind of crazy. You would think Star-Lord would be in this version, but it's not. Or Storm. Storm's not in it either. Kind of crazy. Quicksilver Wiccan has Karen Page in it now. And Galactus is, I think, always been a thing. But it's got the Shadow King, so it's probably going to be good into the Man Spider deck. Cerebro 3 is going decent right now with a 51.8 win rate. It's on the lower side, but it still seems to be working, which is interesting. Erisham, 56% win rate. Traditional discard. This deck has been doing really good. And I'm surprised. Well, I'm not. How do I say this? I'm not surprised it's doing good. It makes sense because you have like Dracula, you have Mobius. This one's not using Weapon H, which I have seen versions of Weapon H, and Weapon H does make it feel a lot better since you're mass discarding anyway. I don't know what they take out for the Weapon H. I feel like they take out the Proximia Midnight probably for it, or the Khonshu. I'm not sure. But I definitely have seen versions that use both Apocalypse and Weapon H for that last turn. You just play them both. Kind of ridiculous. Or you play the Weapon H and you keep the Apocalypse in your hand. Victoria Hand Moon Girl. Yeah, it's annoying. Nimrod, this is what I've used using. I don't have Galactus though, unfortunately, but this is what I've been using. And the win rate, honestly, this one's kind of like crazy low compared to like mine. Only a 51.2 win rate, which is still good. They use Superior Spider-Man and Galactus, which makes a lot more sense. My version is a little different because I don't own either of those. But one of these days, I'll probably pick up Galactus and some Symbiote Spider-Man to actually do the Galactus thing, because I just feel like the deck is really efficient for winning cubes easily. Well, let me reword that. The cubes is good at winning mass amounts. The deck is good at winning mass amounts of cube at once, and good at avoiding losing a ton at once as well, because you know when to leave, right? You know when to snap, you know when to leave based off your hand. So it's kind of a safe deck to run for fast climbing. Even though the win rate's kind of deceiving, you win so much that the losses don't really affect it, right? Because like you win big, because people always snap against Nimrod, they're like, ah, whatever, and then they get Galactus, and it's like, ha, well, crap, I lose. So yep. Generic Shalao. I have yet to really run into this. It says a 55.8% win rate. I haven't ran into this one. I'm not surprised, to be honest. There's a bunch of low cost, and you just kind of play the Shalao to probably juice up the Sasquatch, or the, well, it'd have to be Sasquatch, or the Mother Ascani. I've seen very little move. I think I've seen it 3 times this season. To be fair, I climbed the Infinite really quickly. And it was a good deck. Professor X kind of catches people off guard. It's like you just kind of lock that spot down, you win that spot, unless you can move to it. So, and then we have Thanos Erishin, which is at a negative cube rate, which I guess doesn't need to be talked about then. So yeah, the meta is weird. The meta is definitely weird. So cards that I would, well, I don't want to say cards in particular because I don't know the cards that might get adjusted. I assume with how the meta is right now, with so many things at a high win rate, like a stupid high win rate, right? They're going to probably power adjust a few things. I imagine the Man Spider deck may get looked at because it is just kind of a deck that is free right now because people are not playing the tech for it, or not many decks are playing the tech for it because like you have no tech in Sauron to use against Man Spider, right? Because you're using Enchantress. So like Man Spider just kind of creams this deck because it gets so big. Mr. Negative, they've already adjusted it so much. I don't know what they do to it again if they just adjust it at all. Like, are they gonna nerf Star-Lord again? I doubt it. So I don't know what they do to it, to be honest. Supergiant, 64.7. That's a high-ass win rate for no reason. Supergiant may need to get nerfed to a 4-5, and even then, I don't know if that does anything to this deck. It's just a good deck. Sauron, they could power adjust Red Skull. Starbrand? I don't think they're going to nerf Daredevil. I don't think he's good enough to get nerfed. I think he's a good card, but that's where, like, it's just good, period. He isn't broken. He's just good. He's a good card. He's more reliable than Weapon X, which is probably a good thing, because Weapon X kind of sucks at times. So, they kind of cooked with Daredevil. He's just a really decent card. He can get pretty sizable, too, if you're lucky. Mother Iskane is probably on the nerf watch right now. I don't think she is healthy for the game. When I say I don't think she's healthy, I don't mean like it's because she's broken. I just think mass amounts of, for example, cloning of a certain card is really bad for the game. And Mother Iskane is just like, they keep accidentally buffing Gambit, Horseman of War or Death. They keep accidentally buffing this card by releasing ways to clone it. So, they could change Gambit from a 3-3 or 3-3 to. I think he could go up with cost. I think a 4-3. He could go up a cost. I think it's just too easy to mask clone this guy. It just is. And even if you nerf it to 4-3, you can still clone it with Mother Iskane, which is still annoying. But it makes the curve a little bit more difficult, where you might have to consider using a Surge or an energy unit, because this could definitely, like, it's one of those things. It's like, bruh, why are we able to make 4 of this guy and then 2 of this guy? It's getting to the point where it's like, why are we able to like mass multiply this stupid card? I love Gambit, but I will admit he's bad for the game. He's so annoying. So is Mother Iskane, though. Not good for the game. I don't think any sort of like clone card is good for the game. I think it just makes it a little too cheesy. I know they can't get rid of them, but like they can minimize it by the curves of each like card that's getting multiplied to make it awkward. Is there any other card that's worth talking about that may need to be chopped? End of turn's fine at the moment, I think. Unironically, it's not the problem. It's kind of crazy. This card being at a 60% win rate, I don't think it's a problem. I just think the meta just fits it really well because there's not a lot of tech being used. It's just it's a meta where we just get big. The meta is literally go big. Man Spider, Daredevil, like you just go big. You also have Mr. Negative that goes big. So because of like the Iron Man setup. So like it's just a meta where like I think players just need to play more tech, unironically, to counter out these decks. I think you just need a way to counter out the Man Spiders, counter out the Saurons, counter out your Mr. Negatives, potentially counter out your Galactus Nimrod decks. Like I just think going big is how you win right now, and not a lot of players are playing tech to like fight it. I feel like you need to definitely run Stardust. I definitely think you need to run things that counter on reveals. So Cosmo. Shang-Chi is probably really good right now because you can kind of pop some backliners. If you run Shang-Chi, you could probably run a Misery or something to like reactivate its ability to just get a second snipe off. I don't know, like it's a weird meta for sure. It's definitely one that's lacking tech, and it's kind of strange because like I don't really care for tech cards, but like right now in this type of meta, I feel like tech's like the most important thing you can use because of how strong these decks are when it comes to like power size. It's just who can get bigger. So yeah, very interesting. Very interesting. So just something to consider, guys. If you're having trouble climbing, maybe throw in a tech card and see if that helps you at all. I'd probably, consider running Stardust. Stardust would be really good right now. So many ways to clone things. Very interesting. But yeah, that's really it. I have nothing really to say. I can only predict that Mother Iskane, Gambit potentially get looked at next patch when it comes to the next OTA. I'm not saying that they will or won't. I'm just saying they probably potentially might try to adjust them just because of the mass cloning problem of a Mother Iskane, which is kind of unfortunate for Gambit that he's going to take probably another hit because of something that's this. Like 3 was bad enough, yeah, but it wasn't like the worst thing ever. 4 is just a little overkill. So like, I don't know. I'm not really sure what the next OTA is going to bring, but I imagine it brings quite a bit of nerfs just to balance out the meta a little bit more and get these win rates to a 50% win rate. I don't know if they like having these win rates so high. I could be wrong. Maybe they love it. Not sure. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think of the meta at the moment. I actually don't mind it personally. It's just, go really big and yeah, kind of straightforward, to be honest. Not much tech going around. But thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you later. Peace.